that. It's a lot of money. Why are you mad like that? Ooh, I'm in my new bag, my bad. You ain't get too bad, my bad. First of the month, I'ma run it back. Same day, why I'ma run it back. Friday, payday, run it back. Run it back, run it back, run it back. 48 yards, I run it back. I cop a car, I run it back. Go yo, then run it back. Run it back, run it back, run it back. Hello? That's the check calling. Let me click over real quick to let my check talk it. I eat it, ooh, Pac-Man. That's the way my neck talking, right? I ain't never coming back.
Hey, everybody, it's the coach, and this is Monday Night Football on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what should be an intriguing matchup between the Cleveland Browns and the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'll be back at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from Sunday's action. But for now, it's Monday Night Football. And to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, it is a cold night in western Pennsylvania as we bring you inside Heinz Field here in Pittsburgh. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Cleveland Browns and the Pittsburgh Steelers. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, we look at this Steeler ball club entering play. They come into this one knowing it's been a while since tasting victory. They've dropped 4 in a row.
Can they remember what it was like to win a game? In these types of situations, you're looking for someone to inspire you, and it doesn't have to be one of your best players either.
Meanwhile, for the Browns here, it's late in the year. We all know it. We've seen the calendar for these guys. Their bodies could probably use a break, but they have to push on.
And they're really not as worried about that as maybe we think. They know they've got the entire offseason to rest. All they care about is the game in front of them and finishing strong.
The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. This is taken at the 3. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. So here are the Steelers now to take over for the first time. And a glance here at the man calling the plays under center, their 6'4" quarterback.
I read something prepping for this game that he said prior to, and I think he really said it a few months ago, where he talked about he wants to have the type of season that at the end, he's buying gifts for all the guys who helped him along the way. And I know that the team wants to hold him to that and really get into his wallet. But that's what good leadership gives you. You know, at the end of the season, because you've done a great job, QB, he's usually the guy who springs for the good stuff.
They'll run with a former Tar Heel, T.J. Logan, and he'll get about 6 up to the 27-yard line. The game's first play produces 6 yards, brings up second down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Here's the first carry for Le'Veon Bell. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Pittsburgh getting 16 yards there and also a first down. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync as we're seeing so far, where that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
They'll run on first down. Logan. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. Offensive starters, here they are. David DeCastro, what do you think about him, Charles?
Brandon could not have been better trained at Stanford. So well schooled in the run game and the pass game, and especially in pro principles. David DeCastro could be an all-pro in the years to come.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Time for a look at our starters here on defense. And they played well against the pass, currently ranked 7th in the NFL.
This secondary has really developed into one of the strengths of this team. They diagnose, they cover, they run, they hit. What a nice team.
An incomplete pass on 2nd down. That muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. From the gun, Newman. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he will get this to them. Midfield stripe, but that's not going to be enough. He's a few yards short.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know. What happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
The Browns offense heading out as we take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And the division title out of reach, we know that. This is as good a spot, Charles, as they're going to get. That first wild card and the number 5 overall seed.
So it's just a matter of adjusting now, isn't it? And what I mean by that is mentally. Every team starts the season thinking, let's go for the number 1 seed, right? Being the top team. Number 2 is pretty great, too, because you get the opening bye, and you're at home after that. But it doesn't matter at this point. Just getting in, and you just sit down and talk to your team. Would you rather go on the road and deal with someone, or would you rather stay at home for the playoffs? Let's go on the road and go take someone out.
They follow up the first down 1-yard run with a minimal gain of 2.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
Now, I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Mayfield looks to throw. Now Mayfield lost the football, and he takes it back to the house. A fumble recovery for a Steelers score. It gives some kudos to the defensive coordinator, I think, here. They bring the blitz, they dial it up, and it turns into 6 points for them.
It's so nice to hear you actually give kudos to the defense. It is so nice. You're such an offensive guy like that. I love it. He dialed things up, and boy, a big play resulted for his guys.
Well, you like the credit for the defense there, right, my friend?
Yeah, do I ever?
You always worry about the plant foot in the snow, but no problems there. And that makes the score 7-0. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started, and they've got to be still reeling from the events of a moment ago. What a turn on that last play.
Knock it on the door. You're about to take it in. You think you're going to get some points on the board. Instead, you cough it up and watch them take it the rest of the way to the opposite end zone. That's a 2-score swing that you just gave up.
Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. A good play there as the Browns strike for 16 and a first down. Mayfield on first down.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they've peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? The catch and run, good for 24 yards. First down, Mayfield.
But when you hit him on the move like that, he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam. Oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. Mayfield hands it off to Chubb. And he's taken down after a gain of 3 as they move it from the 22 to the 19.
I think that's the type of run we'll continue to see throughout this game. The snow coming down, I don't expect a lot of big plays to be broken.
The Steelers now in the nickel here on 3rd down. They go play action. Mayfield. Forced out to his left. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. And they just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets him up now 1st and goal. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. And it's caught. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. A great effort there. His first touchdown on the year as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. CD, it seemed like they were so focused on the guys out wide, they forgot about him out of the backfield.
That's a really good point because you've got to communicate, and oftentimes when you start counting receivers, that's exactly what you do. You start from the widest receiver, work your way inside. Who gets lost sometimes? The back in the backfield. That's exactly what happened there.
And he got into the end zone. Extra point right down the middle, and we are tied at 7. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And it ends with a 3-yard scoring run. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. And now out come the Steelers. You know, in our research packet this week, prepping for the game, so many articles from the local beat writer about the offensive struggles of this team and what will they do this offseason. What do you think they'll do?
Well, number one, they'll turn to their self-scouting report. And every team that's any good does this. They have outside groups. Check out their team, scout them, and tell you who can play, who can't play, and reasons why. Some of it may just be health. They have to get some guys healthy and back out on the field. But overall, evaluate this squad and make the changes that you need to.
They go over the middle, and it's complete to start the drive. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 12 yards that time at a Pittsburgh first. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Newman. And he is going to go down. He will be sacked on the final play of this first quarter. Second quarter action from Pittsburgh. It is the Steelers in control of the football as they've got it with a second down coming up. On second down, it's Bell. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long. Throwing on 3rd and long, Newman. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line.
We got this.
Well, it's 3rd and long, and you've got a few different ways to play it offensively. But this is not the type of offense that's going to wave the white flag. They're going to keep chucking it. And this time, it results in an interception.
A run for Nick Chubb. 13 yards to pick up there. Good for a Cleveland first.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shake.
And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. Foster Moreau, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Browns have taken the lead. Sometimes those tight ends are a mismatch. They found the mismatch there.
And that's exactly why you want to drop those types of plays, because coverage is just going to go to the natural guys, the guys that make the big plays on the outside. But if you work your tight end into it, that's a tough one for a defense to handle.
Tough. They couldn't handle it. It worked out for 6. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
Here we go. Shoot.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Back to throw. Newman, and he's got it complete to Anderson. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. On 3rd down, Newman. And this is Cook with a grab. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. It's a Pittsburgh first down, a gain of 13. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Out of the shotgun, it's Bell. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. On second down, it's Bell. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38. The Steelers on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Looking to throw. Newman. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Fair catch called. It's taken in right at the 20-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now 1st and 10 at the 20. They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
Now a play fake here on 1st down. That's out to Chubb, complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 10, and the Browns are going to get a 1st down. Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining. A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now. We'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Khalil Mack in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. It's caught by OBJ. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. Play fake. Mayfield. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now, give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Flush to his right. Now he'll let it go deep right side. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. Well, that, my friend, I guess is the definition of a head-scratcher. 4th and long. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Even. 4 down. Even.
From the gun, Newman. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Back to throw. Newman. That'll be complete to Cook. The Steelers signal for the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. To throw on 3rd down. Newman. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. Here's Johnny Hacker now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds.
Let's go.
And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. You're under a minute to go here in the half. Field position not really in your favor, but still time to try and move the ball and get in field goal range.
Yeah, you got the lead. It's definitely a thought. Let's go ahead and try it.
That's caught inside the 20. A big play there just before halftime. 55 yards. From the red zone now, Mayfield. Eluding the pressure right. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. The safety, Terrell Edmonds, picks it. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number one. So we come upon halftime, and it's the visiting Browns with a lead. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. We'll get started out on the West Coast in Oakland.
No, I'm not mad at you for skipping halftime, but can I just have a sip of water real quick, please? Thank you. All right, let's go. This snow front that has socked much of the East Coast not going away as we are back to it in the second half. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Let's go!
Baker Mayfield leads the offense out for their next possession. And he's had some time to chew on that interception he threw on his last drive back in the first half.
Well, normally we say, come on, get him right back out on the field and play again, right? But as you mentioned, had the halftime, had to stew about it a little bit. Maybe he'll have a chance to relax a little, kind of laugh and chuckle and let it go.
He'll hope to respond positively here to start the third quarter. So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. Mayfield off the play fake. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. He'll buy some time right. On the run, he'll let this. Got a man. It's caught at the 6-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Mayfield to throw it. He'll make that now 2 completions for him on this drive, and these aren't ordinary completions. They're big ones.
Yeah, these are the types that make a secondary talk to each other and not in a good way. Oftentimes pointing fingers. Hey, who's got him? Someone cover it. That type of indecision can open up to even more big plays.
They go with Chubb on 2nd down, and he'll barrel his way into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Nick Chubb, his 21st touchdown of the season, and the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit, get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, the second half, no matter what, whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever, this was a big score to start the second half.
The extra point splits the uprights, and it's now 21-7. That time a 6-play drive, and Nick Chubb the one to finish it off as he does so with a touchdown run. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken at the 3. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. And boy, Charles, they have to find a way to just give him some time to breathe back there. He's been pressured throughout this game.
And I'll bet in his mind.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And their halftime hole now even deeper. They need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
On second down now, it's Logan. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down, then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going to the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
And a pretty nice tackle there, ranging up from his free safety spot as he'll stop him about a yard short.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job here of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. Here now, time to discuss Odell Beckham Jr. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it? Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
A bit of a catch for him to remember. That's number 400 for his NFL career. Not a bad number at all. But he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. A good play there as the Browns strike for 16 and a first down. Mayfield now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Now this throw caught left side. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A nice gain of 21 yards. Mayfield now nearing the 300-yard mark with still a quarter to play. It's 1st and 10. Mayfield. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. From 19 yards away. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. And, partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern, and it was in the middle third of the field.
And that's really difficult to do because ordinarily the safeties are back there to prevent that happening. But they found the opening and exploited it.
The extra point up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 30-yard line.
Looking to throw on second down. Newman. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
And he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of the first. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
There's Baker Mayfield as he and the Browns offense comes back out. A solid first half for him, and so far a good start to the second half.
And I'm going to try not to go overboard with praise here, but I can't help it. He is playing so well. Really accurate with the ball, finding guys open downfield, and finding the end zone 3 times. That'll help offset the 1 interception.
Absolutely. Just that 1 pick with the 3 touchdowns so far. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Mike, 55, right there in the middle.
On first down, they'll run with Chubb. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. 1 quarter remains here in Week 16. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Chubb. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. Mayfield now. And that is incomplete, but there is a flag. And on 4th down, this is a big call. Well, sometimes when you try to defend OBJ, you're going to get a PI call.
You might get a PI called at just about any point during his route. And I think a lot of teams have taken the whole philosophy of, hey, just go ahead and do what you have to do. And hope eventually they'll quit calling it. But not in this case. They dropped the flag for the pass interference.
And he works his way forward for about 4 up to the midfield stripe. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've got an answer for it.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got this down to the 35. That's good for a Cleveland first down, an 11-yard pickup.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, 3rd down, a battle for it, and it's intercepted. Picked off down at the 10, and a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try to figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Now this throw complete to Washington, and he'll get it up a little shy of the 15. They'll spot him down at the 14-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. On 3rd down, Newman, a screen to Bell. And he'll be taken down, losing yardage back at the 9-yard line. A 5-yard loss there is going to bring up 4th down. Well, you can see what they wanted to do. They wanted to set up the screen there, but it got blown up.
It's hard to run that play if you're not getting a lot of pressure at the quarterback because the space doesn't open up. They were able to read that one and slow it down and stop it before they could get a first down.
Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
That's good for a Cleveland first down, an 11-yard pickup. And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. He finds his target, Beckham. 39 yards the distance covered on the catch and run. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles. It certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long. And I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them. And now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
So a loss of 5, and it'll be second down. To throw on second down. Harrison under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Khalil Mack in there to take him down on what will take us to the 2-minute warning. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Well, a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
Now Mayfield on fourth down. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. Khalil Mack. And this Steeler defense able to come up with a stop. So we were looking at each other up here in the booth when they went for that, saying, oh, wow, talk about trying to add insult to injury.
Some teams are just like that. You know, some philosophies, some coaches are like, look, when I got a chance to put some more points on the board, I don't care what the situation, I'm going to do it. And they're also the same coaches as a general rule that if someone does it to them, you won't hear a peep of protest out of them. That's just who they are.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. To throw again. Newman. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. Operating from the gun. Newman. And brought in by the tight end Cook. Now the Steelers use the second of their 3 timeouts as they stop it prior to what would be an important 4th down. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. Looking to throw. Newman. And this is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Browns are going to get this thing back. Excellent field position. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 14 yards, and it's a Cleveland first down.
Well, how about this aggressive approach? Got the lead, 4th quarter, continuing to throw the football. Are you thinking about Super Bowl 51? Atlanta had the lead against New England, and they ended up giving it up?
I was going to say, don't say it, but you did say it.
I did, didn't I?
Yeah, anybody watching in Atlanta, our apologies. We're not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. It's caught. Beckham. It's a really nice 15-yard pickup, and now it's 1st and goal. Well, if you're going to give him that kind of time, he's just going to shred you.
You might as well put a sofa out there for him. I mean, that's unbelievable because I don't care who you are in coverage. With that amount of time, someone's going to shake free, and he's going to be able to throw the ball.
And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. DJ Chark with his 16th touchdown of the year. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. Well, with that touchdown pass, I'm going to bring up a point from earlier in the year. Some of the fans were saying, when do we turn to the rookie? Well, he's looking pretty good right now.
Yeah, I love the fact that the fans are bringing that up because I'm not the head coach. Okay, so he's got to deal with it. But I think it's a legitimate question. With the way their season is going, I think now is the time to turn the page and let him get some starts before this season is over.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Steelers offense gets ready to get back onto the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in a game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we do.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 25. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. All smiles and high fives on that defensive sideline. That interception will cap off what was truly a tremendous performance.
Yeah, if you can hold a team to 7 points in the NFL, that's the kind of day that you feel really good about. Now, I do know a few guys are going to think to themselves, held them to 7. If we made one more play, could have had our shutout.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. He was trying to go back to Beckham there. That'll bring up second down. And once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. And give them another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues. He has really settled in throwing the football, and that touchdown here in the fourth quarter gives him a pretty comfortable cushion.
He may be a rookie, but he's playing like fourth quarter, and the QBing is easy. How about this guy? Youngster, not worried about anything, just cutting it loose and having fun.
Extra point up and through, and that will extend this big lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
That's complete. It's Bell. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. From the gun, Newman, caught here by Bell. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this fourth quarter of play. Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete. Johnson, the intended target, and it's 3rd and short. After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. Back to throw. Newman. Incomplete. And we're down to 8 seconds now. Here's Johnny Hacker now as he's on to punt for Pittsburgh. And he gets it away. A directional kick going toward the sideline. And now with 4 seconds left, we get a timeout call. The Browns drive about to get started. And this one all over but the shouting, you might say. Now, there's 1 timeout remaining defensively, but probably no real need to use it here.
Yeah, right. Nowhere
there to escape, and he goes down. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for